was born and raised in the South, in the city, and now I live in the Midwest, on a farm, and I love it. Other things I love are Jesus, my family, and everything food. I'm so glad you decided to join me today.
Okay, all right. Y'all, I'm so happy I have my big sister, Shanny. Big sister, older, but tiny little petite thing. Look at that. Like a big taste of chocolate and a little Hershey's Kiss. Okay, I'm so happy to have Shanny today on the show. She and Phil are visiting from Arkansas, and we're so glad you're here.
We're so happy to be here.
Yes, we picked him up from the airport, and I love the Midwest because Phil left his bag on
his big backpack with everything in it, the carry-on.
Yes.
He left it on the chair in the, by the baggage claim.
Yes.
And we got all the way back home an hour later. He said he drives up and there's no cars in the parking lot, but the lights are on. And so he just drives up to the front door and he opens the door and he walks in and there's his backpack right on the chair. He just grabbed it.
So Shanny, today we're gonna make
Granny's vegetable beef soup. It is from our mom's mom, Granny, who, we love her so much. She's been in heaven for probably 15 or 16 years. I think about her so often. I look at my hands and they're her hands. So when I got married 38 years ago, Granny gave me an heirloom kitchen. It's a book, and this is one of the pages, it's torn out of it. But anyway, my heirloom recipes or something. And she wrote recipes throughout the book for me. And so this is Granny's soup, and it's in her writing. And then at the end it says, Shanny, you've liked this since you were a little girl. I used to bring it with me to Fort Smith when I came to visit, and a smiley face.
Show us what we'll need.
Dried chicken noodle soup, beef and chicken bouillon, potatoes, carrots, ground beef, stew meat, pepper, onion, canned shoepeg corn, canned peas, stewed tomatoes, and tomato sauce.
The first thing you need to do is find your biggest, and Marci found this for me, and it's exactly the one I bought at Sam's a while back. And you don't have to have this big of a pan, but if you put the meat in as much as I do about
Trust her.
3 or so more pounds of hamburger meat,
Love it.
ground beef, and I do the leanest you can get because we're gonna cook it in a way you have never done before, I bet. On Granny's recipe, she says to boil a beef neck bone, and she did that so well. And sometimes she would boil a ham bone, and from a ham she would cook. Yum. It was so yummy. But when I tried to do that when I was younger, little gristle and little bones, I was like, it's not getting there. And
it just sounds so pioneer, like we boiled the neck bone.
Yes. And it's kind of hard to find a neck bone just in the
Where
grocery
do you
store.
find a neck bone? I don't know. It's literally, I guess a beef.
The head bone's connected to the
neck bone. Neck bone's connected to the shoulder bone. Nurse practitioner, she knows all those bones. I don't know bones. I know a few bones.
So I used to do beef cubes and chicken cubes, but now they have, if in your store you can get beef powder and chicken powder. Ooh, it's awesome because you don't have to, the little cubes are so hard to take the paper off.
They are.
And it is.
It's so hard. You're sitting there taking
3 tablespoons of chicken powder and 3 tablespoons of beef powder.
Look what Shanny brought me back. It's a tablespoon that's a cat. And y'all should see the little tiny 1/4 of a teaspoon is so cute. It's a little baby cat. I can't wait to show y'all. It's going to be so great. Okay, so I get to use these little.
Okay, so we've got this water little helper. It's a child's little stand because this pot is so big.
Use your resources.
That I have to stand on a step stool even at my house to drop stuff in. I'd already done too much. But beef bouillon's probably about 3 tablespoons too. 1, 2. I can't do it with you. It already smells good. And since I'm a little OCD, I will put this back in the cupboard right now.
And y'all, when Shanny got to my kitchen, she cleaned the whole thing. It was wonderful.
We both have our strengths.
We do. Mine's not cleaning. Sure. Everything. You do a lot. She has saved so many lives, and she got the nurses award in nursing school. Just saying.
Okay, so we've got to stir this bouillon in here, and actually, I think I added too much. So I'm going to add a little more water because you cannot mess up this soup. You really can't. When it starts boiling is when we're going to drop the beef in. And this is how we cook our meat. Drop it in the boiling water. Don't get freaked out about it. I did the first time that I saw it. I was like, ugh, grease, because you're always supposed to drain grease. But you literally, that's why we get the leanest meat. So
now,
it works out.
should you skim it off? Can you keep it on?
Marci would keep it on. I skim it off. And the water are boiling, and so now it's time for our meat, and I'm going to stand. Since you're taller, you're okay.
Okay.
I'm going to stand a little bit up. Okay, so we're going to take our ground beef.
Okay.
And you just, with your clean hands, you just do like this. You make little pieces, like little.
What a good idea,
Like
Granny.
little. And so it was so fun. It really is.
Granny's watching us. She's in the great cloud of witnesses loving this, Shanny.
Oh, she is. She is. I can't wait to see her again.
I can't wait to see Granny again. Hey, we got to say, Granny was brilliant. She took one of those little genius tests, IQ tests, just from the newspaper, and she was off the charts.
Well, I would not be surprised because she did the crossword puzzle every day and the crypto quote and got them right every day. And my mom to this day does the crossword puzzle and the crypto quote. She gets the crypto quote. She tried to teach me. No way. I've never been able to do it.
The crypto quote. Do y'all know what that is? That is like genius stuff.
It's genius. It's like different letters that you make another letter and then it's a saying.
It's a code or something.
It's a code. You can do little chunks or, big chunks. Just because it's, mix it up a little. And sometimes I get tired of doing the little chunks, and so I just do big ones. And people like a big piece of meat. And the meat starts cooking, the grease comes to the top. So I usually get a little Tupperware spoon, and something I can put it in sturdy. And you just skim the top. You do not get any of the meat out, but you skim the grease off the top. And I've seen my granny do this 100 times, 100 times.
So
100
sweet.
times. Stew meat is beautiful. Uh-oh.
These are wonderful.
Okay,
We have
Marci's
wonderful
going to do
meats.
one and I'm going to do one.
I'm so excited.
And
We're
my
just meat.
scissors, just any scissors. They don't have to be kitchen scissors. And
I always
what
have
you
scissors
do
in the kitchen, like 6 pairs.
is you cut these little pieces
Ooh.
over, and you just pop it right in the boiling water too. See, like I did 4 out
Got
of
your
that.
stew meat. I love
Yes,
it.
and then it's bite size because these are a little too big of chunks for the spoon.
I might have gotten overzealous toward the end and kind of mashed it together.
Oh yes, Marci, look at that bite is too big.
Eat at your own risk.
Okay, I'm skimming all the fat off, and look, I learned this from Mom and Dad. Do you remember this? When they would skim the fat off when we were little and we had dogs, they would then go pour this over their dog food.
Cupcake.
And the dogs would love it. So we'll do this for Cute Cupcake, my favorite dog in the world, and Moses Hadu. I love your dog too.
And Moses Reggie.
Moses Reggie. Well, Reggie and I are best buds. We're kind of
Reggie loves Shanny so much. Reggie doesn't talk
He
to anybody. Reggie, you go and Reggie's like this.
Yes.
Reggie was a rescue, bless.
Next, we're going to put in our onion. Look, y'all, see? The meat is cooking in here. So next in goes an onion, a yellow onion, and I cut the top and bottom off, and then I just peel, this top part off. Okay, my cute friend Sheila taught me this a long time ago when we were newlyweds. And what you do is you cut half into the onion, and you make a checkerboard. So you do, 4 or 5 cuts one way, and then you do 4 or 5 cuts the other way, and you go halfway down so you don't cut yourself. And then you take it and you slice it across, and there are your little bits. The rest of the onion, you can only do that with about a half of the onion, so then you have to chop up the rest and just put it in. And then Marci has been chopping some of the carrots.
Woo!
And so have I. And
She did. My phone storage in the middle of this was like, storage is full. I was like, oh no.
I was like, hey, you got out of the chopping.
I did.
You just chop them in circles. That's what Granny did.
And team.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, it's a boo! Next are 2 or 3 or 4 potatoes and you kind of cube them. Marci really did hers well.
I got crazy on this.
You have crazy.
So much fun.
She does a great job on the potatoes.
Shanny and I were talking about peeling potatoes.
Yes. And Marci doesn't peel them. Who knew?
I just kind of like peeling like an apple.
Next, we're putting in our canned ingredients. Pour them in. Like shoepeg corn. Don't do any other kind of corn. Well, you can. But I do it exactly like Granny did because it's my taste of my childhood. Get in of tomato sauce. Get in.
Woo!
And stewed tomatoes. And then what Granny would do is she would take them out and just with her fingers just kind of mush them in there.
I love that.
Yeah. I burn myself on this every single time, usually multiple times, but it is worth it. This is looking so yummy.
You see, it's so pretty.
And it's not, and we have one more thing to put in, and it is the piece de resistance. Is that right?
Sure.
It is the best ingredient ever, and you add it at the very end. Lipton chicken noodle soup, and there are 2 packages in here, and spices.
Secret ingredient.
Shake them down, and ooh, here, you do one, I'll do one.
Nice.
Okay.
So fun.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, they're so fun to put in.
This is always my favorite part, probably because you don't have to cut anything. And I usually don't burn myself on this, but we'll see.
The day's still young.
Yes. Okay, put all of the, and make sure the spice goes in. You'll know this is ready when the potatoes are soft and the onions and the carrots are soft. You'll have a bunch left. You can put it in containers and take it to the neighbors, take it to your loved ones. Okay, we're going to just taste. Ooh! Okay, it's got plenty of salt. We do not need salt. I got a little numb tongue. I hate that. I hate it when that happens. All that bouillon and with the Lipton soup.
Is your lip okay?
Yes, but you will get injured making this, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
So worth it. Some things are worth it.
Some give cupcake the grease.
Now, Shanny,
Yes.
I think since we want to wait for this to boil a little bit, it's time to dance.
Yes.
Okay. So I never know the music till the end.
There's no music on here.
No music, so we just know that I have the music later, and it's really fun. Yay! Thank you, Jesus. Woo! All kinds of dancing. Shanny was captain of the drill team. Back in the day. So yeah. Okay, Shanny, this granny soup is amazing. This granny's vegetable beef soup is amazing. And you have eaten this ever since you were little. Does it remind you, does the smell remind you of Granny?
So much.
So fun. It was so much fun. We're going to do a few more shows before you leave.
Fun,
Because you're here and we're cooking anyway.
Yes.
Anyway, y'all, this is so fun. You'll see this one again. Cook at your own risk. That was so much fun. Shanny, I love you so much.
I love you
can't
so
wait
much,
to do this.
sister.
Oh, sweet. I love you. I love you. So thankful for you.
So thankful for you.
Y'all,
thank you, Jesus, for my sweet sister.
Oh, thank you, Jesus, for my
what a
sweet
blessing.
sister. Oh, I'm going to cry. Anyway, y'all, this was so fun today. Don't forget to thank Jesus.
And enjoy.
Yay! See you next time.
I said, Cupcake, where were you?